Why do animals freeze instead of running? If you were a wild animal, and somewhere nearby, something wanted to kill you, what would you do? Most people think they know the answer. Run as fast as you possibly can, because standing still feels like the worst decision imaginable. But nature doesn't always agree with us. Imagine you're walking through a forest. A deer suddenly appears a few meters ahead. It sees you. You see it. For a brief moment, neither of you moves. Or picture a rabbit in an open field. It hears danger long before it can see it. Yet instead of running, it presses itself silently against the ground. Completely still. No movement, no sound, no attempt to escape. At first, that behavior makes no sense. If your life depends on escaping, why would you waste even a single second? Wouldn't every heartbeat matter? Wouldn't every step increase your chances of survival? That seems obvious, but here's the mystery. Animals have been freezing like this for millions of years. Deer, rabbits, foxes, birds, even tiny mice. Different habitats, different predators, the same strange behavior, and evolution is remarkably unforgiving. Behaviors that consistently reduce an animal's chance of survival usually disappear. Over thousands of generations, they are replaced by better ones. So if freezing was simply a mistake, why is it still everywhere? Why hasn't evolution erased it? What if standing perfectly still isn't a failure to act at all? What if, for one critical moment, doing nothing is actually the smartest thing an animal can do? To understand why, we first need to step inside the animal's brain. Danger appears. The moment danger appears, the animal's body changes before it can even think. Its heart rate shifts, its muscles tighten, its breathing becomes shallow. Its senses become sharper. But this is not a slow, thoughtful decision. The animal is not calmly asking itself, should I run? Should I hide? Should I stay? That kind of thinking would take too long in the wild. Too long can mean dead. So the brain uses an older system, a faster system, one that reacts before conscious thought fully begins, and in that first instant, the animal is not choosing between fear and courage. It is choosing between bad options. If it runs too early, the movement may reveal its exact location. If it runs in the wrong direction, it may move closer to the predator. If it stays still for too long, it may lose its only chance to escape. There is no perfect answer, only the best answer for that exact second. This is why freezing is so misunderstood. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening, but inside the animal's brain, everything is happening at once. Where is the danger? How close is it? Has it noticed me? Is there cover nearby? Is the safest path left, right, forward, or nowhere at all? For one brief moment, the body stops, not because the animal has given up, not because it is too scared to move, but because moving before the brain has enough information can be the deadliest choice of all. Freezing is not the absence of action. It is a pause before action, a survival delay, a tiny window of time where the brain tries to avoid one fatal mistake. And sometimes, that tiny window is all an animal needs. The easiest way to understand this is to watch it happen in real life. Every year, drivers experience the same moment. A deer suddenly steps onto the road. The headlights lock onto its eyes. The driver expects one thing: run. Instead, the deer stands completely still. To us, it looks irrational, almost as if the animal has forgotten how to move. But what the driver cannot see is that the deer's brain is processing an enormous amount of information in almost no time. The sound, the light, the direction of the danger, the safest escape route. Only when that decision is made does the body move. The rabbit uses the same principle, in a completely different way. Long before a fox comes into view, the rabbit often hears it. Instead of running immediately, it presses itself flat against the ground. Its body becomes almost invisible among the grass. If the predator passes without noticing, the rabbit survives without taking a single step. But the moment it is discovered, everything changes. The pause ends. The sprint begins. Freeze first, run second. Not because the rabbit is afraid, but because timing matters more than speed. And then there are young ground-nesting birds. They cannot fly well. They cannot outrun a predator. So they rely on something else. They become perfectly still. To a predator searching for movement, a motionless chick is surprisingly difficult to detect. Different animals, different environments, different predators. Yet all of them depend on the same rule. The first movement must be the right movement. And here's the surprising part. This ancient survival system never disappeared. It still exists inside us. Think about the last time something unexpected happened. A loud crash behind you, a car suddenly swerving into your lane, someone shouting your name from across the street. For a fraction of a second, many people freeze, not because they don't know what to do, but because their brain is buying time. The same pause that once helped countless wild animals survive still shapes the way we respond to danger today. By now, the answer should look very different. Animals don't freeze because they are weak. They don't freeze because they have stopped fighting. And they certainly don't freeze because evolution made a mistake. They freeze because every movement carries a cost. Move too soon, and you may reveal yourself. Move in the wrong direction, and you may run straight into danger. But wait for just the right moment, and everything can change. In nature, survival doesn't always belong to the fastest. Sometimes it belongs to the one who makes the right decision at the right time. That's why this ancient behavior never disappeared. Generation after generation, it continued to save lives. Not every time. No survival strategy works perfectly. Some animals freeze and are still caught. Others run immediately and escape. Nature offers no guarantees, only better odds. And over millions of years, those odds were good enough for this behavior to survive. So the next time you see a deer standing motionless, or a rabbit pressed silently into the grass, don't assume you've witnessed fear. You may be watching one of the oldest survival strategies on Earth, a strategy refined through countless generations, one that still lives inside every wild animal and inside you. Because the instinct to pause before making a life-changing decision didn't disappear when humans left the wilderness. We simply carried it with us. So sometimes doing nothing isn't doing nothing at all. Sometimes it is the smartest move nature has ever taught.